open secret, as I said. And I have the greatest respect for her as an artist, especially as a recording artist. And she's been a friend who's come to dinner, but it was probably something I should have bitten my lip on. But as I get older, I'm increasingly prone to not.
So, for years, Elton John remained one of the few people who shared a deeply personal bond with Princess Diana, making every word he speaks about her impossible to ignore. But when he finally broke his silence, the reaction reportedly sent shockwaves far beyond the palace and left Meghan Markle at the center of growing speculation. Was it an unexpected revelation, a subtle message, or something no one saw coming? What was said behind the headlines has sparked intense debate and raised questions that refuse to go away. But what could Elton John have revealed about Lady Diana? What shocked Meghan Markle in Elton's revelation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. Elton John's final promise to Diana. Alright, so here's something that many people don't realize about Elton John's relationship with Princess Diana. Long before the world watched him perform at her funeral, the two had built a friendship that was far deeper than most people ever knew. In his memoir, Elton looked back on Diana with enormous affection, describing her as one of the most extraordinary people he had ever met. To him, she wasn't simply a princess or a global celebrity. She was someone whose kindness, warmth, and genuine concern for others made her stand out, even within the royal family itself. Their story began in 1981 at Prince Andrew's 21st birthday celebration. Elton admitted that Diana appeared quite shy when they were first introduced, which was hardly surprising considering she was just beginning her life in the royal spotlight. But it didn't take long for him to discover a completely different side of her. Behind that quiet first impression was a woman with a sharp sense of humor, quick wit, and a playful personality that instantly made people feel comfortable. Elton often said Diana had an incredible ability to connect with almost anyone she met, whether she was speaking with royalty, celebrities, hospital patients, or complete strangers. She had a remarkable way of making each person feel seen, valued, and genuinely important. Elton John and Princess Diana's friendship became deeply meaningful over the years, though it faced challenges. Shortly before her death, they had a disagreement over a charity book connected to fashion designer Gianni Versace, creating a painful distance between them. Their relationship seemed uncertain until they unexpectedly reunited at Versace's funeral in Milan after his murder.
Fashion designer Gianni Versace was gunned down outside his villa in Miami's South Beach.
The emotional meeting led to a heartfelt reconciliation, as they embraced, spoke openly, and forgave each other. Sadly, neither realized that this touching reunion would become the last conversation they would ever share before Diana's tragic death just weeks later. Looking back, Elton believed Diana's greatest strength had nothing to do with her royal title. Instead, he admired the compassion that drove everything she did. He praised her dedication to causes many others avoided, especially her work raising awareness about HIV/AIDS at a time when fear and misunderstanding surrounded the disease. Diana wasn't interested in simply attending glamorous events. She wanted to comfort people who felt forgotten, ignored, or judged by society. Elton believed her emotional intelligence allowed her to touch lives in a way very few public figures ever could. When Diana died in August 1997, Elton was left heartbroken. He later described being asked to perform a rewritten version of Candle in the Wind at her funeral as one of the most emotional experiences of his life. For him, it wasn't just another performance before a global audience. It was his deeply personal farewell to a treasured friend. In the years since, Elton has continued to honor Diana's memory by remaining close to Prince William and Prince Harry, offering public support whenever he believed they needed understanding and compassion. In many ways, he has often suggested that protecting Diana's legacy also means standing beside the two sons she loved more than anything else. But what exactly shocked Meghan Markle in Elton's revelation about Diana? Was it related to his revelation about Princess Diana? Could it be the reason he finally decides to break his silence? Stay with us. Elton John's shocking rejection of Harry. Now, here's where this story takes an unexpected turn. What began as a long and determined legal fight over privacy reportedly ended with something far more personal, a growing rift between two men who had shared a close friendship for years. According to several reports, tensions began to rise between Sir Elton John and Prince Harry after the High Court dismissed their privacy lawsuit against Associated Newspapers. The legal defeat was disappointing enough, but some commentators believe the real damage happened after the case was over. Reports suggest that Prince Harry felt increasingly frustrated by how everything unfolded. Royal commentator Paula Froelich claimed that Harry believed Elton had played a key role in drawing him into the lengthy legal battle by introducing him to the legal team handling the case. Although Harry chose to participate in the lawsuit himself, the reported financial consequences following the unsuccessful outcome are said to have left him facing substantial legal costs. At the same time, there were also claims that Harry was seeking additional financial backing connected to the upcoming Invictus Games in Birmingham, placing him under even greater pressure. According to several reports, Prince Harry reportedly turned to Sir Elton John for financial help, believing he could rely on their long-standing friendship. Elton, being one of Princess Diana's closest friends, remained supportive of Harry and Prince William after her death, performed during the celebrations surrounding Harry and Meghan's 2018 wedding, and publicly defended the couple against media criticism. Because of their close bond, Harry's reported request appeared understandable. However, reports claim the situation took an unexpected turn when Elton allegedly refused to provide financial assistance. Unnamed sources even attributed a blunt response to the music legend, saying, "I am not an ATM." Although there is no public verification that Elton actually made that remark, the reported exchange quickly attracted widespread attention, particularly as it was allegedly made when breaking his silence on Princess Diana. The same accounts suggested Elton believed that friendship, no matter how close, did not obligate him to cover another person's legal expenses or charitable financial commitments, even with the long. For Harry, the reported refusal was said to be deeply painful. After years of friendship and mutual support, he allegedly expected a different outcome. Sources claimed he struggled to understand why someone who had stood by him through so many difficult chapters would now draw such a firm line. If those reports are accurate, the disappointment extended beyond the money itself and touched the very foundation of a relationship that had once seemed unbreakable. Some media outlets even speculated that Meghan Markle was surprised or disappointed by Elton's reported stance. However, it's important to note that neither Harry, Meghan, nor Sir Elton John has publicly confirmed these claims. Much of the story comes from unnamed sources and royal commentators rather than direct statements from those involved. Still, if the reports reflect what truly happened, they suggest that one unsuccessful court case may have done more than end a legal battle. It may also have placed lasting strain on one of Prince Harry's oldest and most trusted friendships. But what kind of bond did Elton share with Diana? What brought them close to each other? Let's find out. Elton John's unbreakable bond with Diana. So, before Elton John became one of Princess Diana's closest friends, their relationship began with a surprisingly ordinary moment. It was 1981, during Prince Andrew's lavish 21st birthday celebration at Windsor Castle. Surrounded by royalty, celebrities, and high-profile guests, the two met for the very first time. According to Elton, there was an instant connection between them. Rather than standing on ceremony, they laughed together, shared stories, and even broke into an unexpected Charleston dance. That carefree moment revealed the side of Diana that so many people would later come to love. She had an effortless way of making everyone around her feel relaxed, no matter who they were or where they came from. Elton would later say that her warmth, quick wit, and genuine kindness left an unforgettable impression on him from that very first evening. Over the years, Elton John and Princess Diana's friendship grew far beyond their royal connections. They discovered a shared passion for helping vulnerable people, especially those affected by HIV/AIDS. At a time when fear and stigma surrounded the disease, Diana earned widespread admiration for treating patients with compassion and dignity, famously shaking their hands without gloves and using her public role to challenge harmful misconceptions. Elton deeply respected her courage and often praised her commitment to using her influence to support those in need, believing she was unlike any other royal he had known. However, their close bond faced a serious test in early 1997. Reports claimed they disagreed over a charity photography book intended to raise funds for Elton's AIDS Foundation after Diana withdrew her support for the project. The decision reportedly left Elton deeply disappointed, creating a painful rift between the two. For several months, they barely communicated, leading many to believe that their once strong friendship had been permanently damaged. Then fate stepped in with heartbreaking timing. After the shocking murder of their mutual friend, world-famous fashion designer Gianni Versace, both Elton and Diana attended his funeral in Milan. Grief seemed to erase the anger that had kept them apart. Elton later recalled that the moment they saw each other, they embraced warmly, quickly put their disagreement behind them, and forgave one another without hesitation. It was an emotional reunion that reminded them how precious true friendship really is. Sadly, neither of them knew it would also be their final goodbye. Just 6 weeks later, the world was stunned by the news that Princess Diana had died in a tragic car crash in Paris. Elton was devastated. He had lost not only a princess admired by millions, but also a loyal friend who had touched his life in countless ways. At her funeral, he performed a rewritten version of Candle in the Wind, a deeply emotional tribute that became one of the most memorable moments of the service. In the years that followed, Elton remained close to Princes William and Harry, believing that one of the best ways to honor Diana's memory was to continue supporting the two sons she loved so deeply. Even today, he remembers her not simply as a member of the royal family, but as a compassionate, courageous, and unforgettable friend whose legacy continues to inspire people around the world. But why did Meghan feel shocked about Elton's rejection? Could she be feeling too entitled? Why was she expecting more from him? Keep watching. The friendship that defied royalty. All right, so here's what makes Elton John's relationship with Prince Harry so different from most friendships connected to the royal family. This isn't simply a story about a famous musician and a prince getting along. Their bond reaches back decades and is deeply tied to one of the most emotional chapters in royal history, Princess Diana's life, and the lasting impact she left on those who loved her. After Diana's heartbreaking death in 1997, Harry was still a young boy trying to cope with an unimaginable loss. During those difficult years, Elton John and his husband David Furnish gradually became trusted figures in his life. Both men have openly described their role as being almost fatherly, saying they always felt protective of Harry and wanted him to have a place where he could feel understood, safe, and supported. They believed they were honoring Diana's memory by looking out for her youngest son in the way they thought she would have wanted. As Harry grew older, that connection only became stronger. What began as a friendship rooted in shared grief developed into one built on genuine trust and loyalty. Elton was never just another celebrity in Harry's circle. He became someone Harry could turn to during some of the most challenging moments of his life, knowing he would receive honest advice without judgment. David Furnish has also spoken about how deeply Harry trusted both of them, describing their relationship as one founded on confidence and mutual respect. That closeness became clear for the world to see in 2018 when Elton performed at the evening reception following Harry and Meghan Markle's royal wedding. It was more than a musical performance. It was a symbol of a friendship that had lasted for years. Behind the scenes, the families were said to have shared a warm and personal connection that extended far beyond official royal events or public photographs. But as Harry and Meghan's lives became increasingly surrounded by controversy, Elton and David found themselves drawn into the storm as well. Both later admitted they were saddened that their private friendship became linked to intense media coverage and legal battles involving claims of unlawful information gathering by sections of the British press. What they had always viewed as a personal relationship suddenly became the subject of public debate, something neither of them had expected nor welcomed. According to various reports, Elton's support became even more important when Harry and Meghan were considering stepping back from their roles as senior working royals. Sources have claimed that before making their historic announcement, the couple sought Elton's advice. He was reportedly someone they spoke with often during that turbulent period, offering reassurance, encouragement, and a listening ear as they faced enormous public pressure. Those close to the situation even described Elton as fiercely protective of both Harry and Meghan throughout their transition. Elton John's unwavering support for Prince Harry is rooted in the deep friendship he shared with Princess Diana. Elton has often explained that standing by Harry and his family feels like honoring a promise he made to Diana many years ago. Prince Harry has openly acknowledged that loyalty, expressing heartfelt gratitude for Elton's constant friendship. In his memoir, Spare, Harry praised Elton's support, and during Elton's farewell tour, he publicly thanked him for being a devoted friend to Diana, to himself, and now to his children. Their extraordinary bond has endured across 3 generations of one remarkable family. Was Elton only extending Diana's friendship, or had special inclination to Harry? How was Elton able to defend Harry and Meghan after the media scrutiny of their trip to his place? Stay glued. Elton defends Harry's controversial flight. Here's where this story took an unexpected turn. Back in the summer of 2019, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle found themselves at the center of yet another royal controversy. This time, it wasn't because of an interview or a public appearance. It was because they had traveled by private jet to spend a holiday at Elton John's luxurious villa in Nice, France. The trip quickly sparked fierce criticism, with many accusing the couple of hypocrisy. After all, Harry and Meghan had spoken passionately about protecting the environment and tackling climate change. So critics questioned why they had chosen one of the least environmentally friendly ways to travel. But just as the backlash was gaining momentum, Elton John decided he had heard enough. The music legend stepped forward with a powerful public statement, determined to tell what he believed was the real story. According to Elton, many of the headlines and online discussions were leaving out important facts that completely changed the picture. He explained that Harry, Meghan, and their young son Archie had not simply decided to enjoy a lavish getaway on their own. Instead, he had personally invited them to stay at his private home, hoping to give the young family a rare chance to relax away from the constant glare of cameras and public attention. For Elton, the invitation was about far more than offering a luxury vacation. It was deeply personal. Having shared a close friendship with Princess Diana for many years, Elton said he had always felt a special bond with her family. Seeing Diana's youngest son living under relentless public scrutiny brought back painful memories of the challenges Diana herself had faced. Because of that connection, Elton felt a personal responsibility to do whatever he could to keep Harry and his family safe while they were with him. He also addressed one of the biggest criticisms surrounding the trip. Elton revealed that he had personally paid for the private jet, insisting that Harry and Meghan had not covered the cost themselves. Even more importantly, he explained that he had arranged for the flight's carbon emissions to be offset, hoping to minimize its environmental impact and keep the journey as consistent as possible with Harry's long-standing commitment to environmental causes. Elton stressed that no taxpayer money had been used and rejected claims that the couple had behaved irresponsibly. Then his attention turned toward the media. Elton did not hide his frustration, accusing certain news outlets of publishing what he described as distorted, unfair, and deliberately damaging accounts of the holiday. In his view, Harry and Meghan had once again become easy targets, with their motives and personal character being questioned before the full facts had even emerged. He argued that the criticism had gone far beyond normal public debate and had become part of a much broader pattern of relentless attacks against the couple. For Elton, the issue wasn't simply about one holiday or one private jet. It was about history threatening to repeat itself. He admitted that watching Harry endure constant media pressure reminded him of the painful years Princess Diana spent under intense public scrutiny before her tragic death.
Diana, Princess of Wales, has been seriously injured in a car accident in Paris.
Determined not to stand by in silence, Elton said his only goal had been to offer Harry, Meghan, and little Archie a peaceful refuge where they could enjoy a few precious days of privacy, safety, and family life. An act, he said, was motivated entirely by friendship, compassion, and genuine concern for their well-being. What exactly brought Elton into the royal circle? How has he been able to maintain the bond ever since that day? Let's find out. The night everything changed, forever now. Here's where this remarkable royal story really begins. Long before Elton John became known around the world as Princess Diana's closest celebrity friend, he had already started building a surprising connection with the British royal family. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the music icon had become one of the most recognizable stars in Britain, and his incredible talent, quick sense of humor, and lively personality had caught the attention of senior royals. Invitations to prestigious royal events soon followed, giving him a front row seat to a world that few entertainers ever experienced. One of the most unforgettable moments came in 1981, when Elton was invited to perform at Prince Andrew's lavish 21st birthday celebration at Windsor Castle. It was an evening filled with glamour, famous guests, and centuries of royal tradition. But despite the grand setting, what happened inside the castle was nothing like Elton had imagined. Instead of a stiff, formal gathering where everyone carefully followed royal protocol, the atmosphere quickly turned into a lively and joyful party that completely surprised him. Years later, Elton fondly remembered how the evening unfolded. Music echoed through the grand halls, guests relaxed, and the members of the royal family seemed happy to let their guard down. At one point, he even found himself dancing with Princess Anne, something he never expected would happen. Then came an even more unforgettable sight. Queen Elizabeth II, still holding her famous handbag, reportedly joined the dancing as guests moved to Bill Haley's energetic hit, Rock Around the Clock. For Elton, it was a rare glimpse into the royal family's private side, a side the public almost never had the chance to see. The experience completely changed his perception of the monarchy, showing him that behind the crowns and ceremonies were people who could laugh, dance, and simply enjoy themselves. But perhaps the most important moment of that evening had nothing to do with music or dancing. It was during Prince Andrew's birthday celebration that Elton John was introduced to a young woman named Lady Diana Spencer. At the time, she had not yet become the world-famous Princess of Wales. In fact, she was only a few months away from marrying Prince Charles, a wedding that would soon capture the attention of millions around the globe. Elton John later recalled that Princess Diana seemed quiet and a little shy when they first met, but her warmth, humor, and natural charm quickly stood out. The pair instantly connected, chatting throughout the evening and even sharing a dance at Prince Andrew's 21st birthday celebration. What began as a brief meeting soon grew into one of the most famous friendships between a global music icon and a member of the British royal family. That single invitation to perform at Windsor Castle proved to be a turning point in Elton's life. It led to decades of royal connections, appearances at major royal events, and close friendships with several members of the monarchy. He would later perform at significant royal occasions, including Prince Harry's wedding, while his enduring bond with Princess Diana became a defining part of her legacy. A chance encounter ultimately evolved into a remarkable and lasting relationship with the House of Windsor. So, what do you think about John Elton's revelations? Why did his revelations shock Meghan? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.